Friday Night Smackdown last night was a very good show. That's the best way to describe last night's Smackdown. We got Edge return. We got Bianca Bellaire addressing her Royal Rumble win. We got the continuation of this boring Baron Corbin, Dominique Mysterio feud. And we got Otis and Gable possibly being added to this SmackDown Tag Team title match that I think is going to be booked for WrestleMania. We're going to go over that. And we're going to go over much more right here on my channel. I got some news on Cesaro reportedly signing a new contract. And I got some news on Edge and Daniel Bryan. Much more right here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brennan Ingram. I'm Ingram Wrestling News' very own Brennan Ingram, here live with your February the 5th, 2021 SmackDown review. Obviously, today is February the 6th. I say that because last night I was live with my SmackDown review, then I had to postpone it because I fell asleep 3 times during it. So, I just postponed it to today. So, here I am live, though. So, before we get started, man, if you're new to my channel, man, hit that subscribe button. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I don't know what the heck you're waiting for, man. I got so much content coming to the channel this year, it's not even funny, man. I got some WWE Battleground content coming to the channel this year. I got some Jump Force content coming to the channel this year. Much more gaming content. So, make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss my Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War content, so you won't miss more of my Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 content on the channel. So you won't miss my Ingram Wrestling News content coming to the channel, too. Well, it's already on the channel, but you get what I'm saying. Make sure you're subscribed so you definitely won't miss my Ingram Wrestling News content, because I got a few Ingram Wrestling News videos in mind that I'm dropping next week. I actually do this time. I'm not lying. You will find out. I'm gonna let it be a surprise to you all. You'll find out. And I think tomorrow or Monday, I think I'm gonna go live. I'm going to go ahead and go live on YouTube either tomorrow or Monday. I'm going to explain my plan going forward with my YouTube channel. I'm actually going to do that. So, Everybody, I suspect everybody to join the stream because this is important. I'm actually going to explain my plans going forward with the channel. I actually am. That's going to be on Monday. I pushed it to Monday. The reason why I pushed it to Monday, it was going to be Friday. I pushed it to Monday. Reason why is because I'm going to be streaming Dragon Ball Fighter Z from today until tomorrow. So we got today. We got today of a full stream on Dragon Ball Fighter Z. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stream Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I'm going to do a first stream of it. I'm going to do the battle tutorial training final part. And then that's when we are going to do the, I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to start another stream. And I'm going to, this time, it's going to be titled Battle Combo Challenge Training. That's what's going to be titled. And then when I'm done with all that, that's when I'm going to end the live stream and do a third and go live with a third stream. This time, it's going to be titled Story Mode. We're going to do the story mode this time. So, the story mode is going to be interesting. I'm hoping my moderator Justin tunes in because I do want him to monitor the chat during that time because people, you know how people are. They shit on your channel. They fucking talk shit. They say you're fat, and then all of a sudden they say your channel's better than that. It's not about whose channel's better. It's about giving the audience what they need and what they want to see on the channel. That's what it's about, in my opinion. It's not about whose channel's better. It's really not. It's really not. It's not that serious, folks. But anyways, again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. Follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling. Follow me on Twitch at Ingram Wrestling News. If you haven't done so, please do it. I need to get to 1,000 followers on Twitch and Twitter. So please, encourage your friends, invite your friends if you can, because people don't listen to me when I say this stuff. They don't listen. They don't do it. Please, 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 invite your friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to follow me on Twitch and Twitter, because this is very important. My goal is to get to 1,000 followers on Twitch and Twitter. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So please, encourage your friends to follow me on both my accounts. So, we're going to go ahead and get started with the review. And I hope everybody is here, because if there's nobody here, you know I'm not going to be happy. You know I suspect that there needs to be people in my chat when I'm doing serious stuff like this, because this is a serious review, and I want to make it a serious review. So, here we go. Now, SmackDown last night opened up with a recap of Bianca Belaire and Edge winning the Royal Rumble matches, and both superstars would be on SmackDown. And Paul Heyman. Reigns talks about how he beat Kevin Owens at the Rumble, just like he said he would. Now, he brings up Edge, saying that Edge now has a main event match at WrestleMania, and Roman himself is the main event. Rightfully so. He's the only best thing going for SmackDown every week. Might as well say that. Right? Ding dong. He's the head of the table. Duh. He actually calls out Edge, asking why Edge wasted time on Raw and NXT, saying Edge should be begging to fight him at the Rumble. There's a reason why Edge was at Raw, because he is actually, in my opinion, slated to challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship, which I think that makes more sense than Reigns versus Edge. Because there's a story there. There's a new story there to Edge and Drew McIntyre. There's a story. They don't, even though they don't have a history between one another, there's a new story they can create there. We could potentially see Edge acting like a heel in this story too, which I think Edge should Edge should use his heel character for this storyline with Drew McIntyre, for this feud. That way, it won't be babyface versus babyface, because babyface versus babyface doesn't make sense. Might as well have Edge turn heel in the storyline with Drew McIntyre. He might as well act like a heel. So we can get heel Edge versus babyface Drew McIntyre for WrestleMania 37. And we get Reigns, heel Reigns versus babyface Daniel Bryan for WrestleMania 37. I think that's the way to go about it. I said this on my Rumble review. I said this. You could ask everybody that watched my Rumble review that gave it a like. I got 3 likes on it. You could ask everybody that liked this Rumble review. They'll even tell you the same thing I said. So he calls out Edge, saying that he doesn't like how Edge is making him wait. So he calls Edge out. Heyman calls for a stagehand to head Edge's music. He is told something by the stageholder, or stagehand. He realized the message to Roman. Roman tells us that Edge is not here. He says that Edge is treating him like a fool and is trying to play games with him. He says that last person that played games with him was Kevin Owens, and Owens is gone history and we'll never see him again. Now Roman stares into the camera and says to Edge, "You're going to give me your decision by the end of the night." He drops his mic. He, Heyman, and Uso leave the ring after that. So then we're told that Hogan would be on SmackDown later on tonight. I don't know why. Oh, that's right, to celebrate on Andre the Giant's, to celebrate his match with Andre the Giant 33 years ago. So that's why Hogan was going to be on SmackDown. That's why he was on SmackDown, to celebrate his match with Andre the Giant 33 years ago. That's why. So then we got Dominique Mysterio versus Baron Corbin. Now, how many of you were interested in watching this match last night? Because I know I wasn't. I was about ready to change that channel already. Especially when I saw King Corbin on my TV. I was about ready to change the channel. You know how many times we've seen this match? About 2-3 times already. Why are we seeing this again? Oh, because it's a fucking feud. So, I guess, unfortunately, I hate to have to say this, but it makes sense. But it doesn't make sense to be having Baron Corbin in a match against Dominique. Even though the feud makes sense, it's boring. It's boring. It makes sense, but it's boring. We're tired of seeing it. This feud has gone up too long. Try something new, WWE. We're tired of seeing this on our TV every Friday night. This is getting completely annoying, man. Seriously. No wonder why everybody wants to pick up the remote, change the channel, because Baron Corbin was on it last night. He was on our TVs. Ruining Dominique's moment in the match. Not to mention, he attacked Dominique from behind. And then he blindsided Dominique, tossing Rey Mysterio off the stage. And then Corbin swaggers to the ring as they go to commercial break. So back from commercial, Corbin goes right after Mysterio. Dominique is able to hit Corbin with a dropkick, but Corbin dunks Dominique to the apron. Dominique rolls up Corbin into a dropkick and a pinfall for 2. Corbin grabs Dominique's leg and hits him with a spine buster that lays into his head with right hands. Corbin chokes Dominique against, Rey Mysterio, the actual father of Dominique. I think he's the real life father of Dominique. Because Eddie Guerrero is certainly not Dominique's father. I don't think. So it's got to be Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's got to be the real father of Dominic Mysterio. So, anyhow, Corbin threw him. So then, right after Corbin threw him, Corbin pins Dominique for 2. Corbin hits Dominique with right elbows, then locks in a chokehold. Dominique fights to his feet and hits Corbin with a few elbows, but Corbin takes Dominique down with a spinning back elbow. Corbin taunts Dominique with a diving knee into Dominique's jaw and upper chest. I fixed the quality for you all to see. I think I just did. What happened? Oh, I didn't push the button. That's why. Okay. Now it's fixed. You all should be able to see now. It's fixed now. Anyways, Corbin taunts Dominique with diving knee into Dominique's jaw and upper chest. Dominique fights to his feet and dunks Corbin over the top to the outside. Dominique hits a springboard dive to Corbin on the outside. Rey struggles to get to his feet and hobbles to ringside to be there to support his son as they go to commercial break again. Tired of these commercial breaks, man. I know you all are getting tired of them too. Back from commercial break, and Corbin is going for a vertical suplex. Dominique escapes and hits a standing moonsault on Corbin, covering him for 2. Corbin goes for a choke slam, but Dominique escapes and rolls up Corbin for a 2. Corbin runs at Dominique, and Dominique trips him up into the middle rope. So then Dominique goes for a 619, but Corbin catches him in a deep 6, covering him for 2. Corbin drags Dominique into the corner, and Dominique dumps Corbin to the outside. Dominique hits a dive to Corbin on the outside. We see Rey Mysterio crawling under the ring to the opposite side. Rey Mysterio grabs Corbin's leg, preventing him from falling Dominique into the ring. Dominique hits Corbin with a 619 and pins him for the victory. By the way, the viewership for SmackDown is supposed to be coming in today. It hasn't came in yet. I imagine it's going to be coming in at around 2 or 3 o'clock. My review will be done by then. So, all I got to do is share the ratings on, share the SmackDown viewership news on Twitter, and y'all should be able to see it. So anyways, Dominique won his match against Corbin. I gotta say, my credit goes to Dominique for doing most of the work in this match, because it seemed like Corbin was doing absolutely nothing but the same stuff that he's done every week on the show. Dominique was trying to do something new. He was trying to get us invested by doing new moves in the ring. He was trying. And I gotta I'm giving him credit. Dominique is doing great. Rey Mysterio's son has the potential to being the next star in the WWE. He has the potential to being a future Universal Champion. Just don't put him in a few Roman Reigns. Have somebody else as Universal Champion be Dominique's opponent for that title. If you put Dominic in a few Roman Reigns, Dominic he will get dominated by Roman Reigns. He will get annihilated. So, it would not be a good idea to have Dominic feud Roman Reigns. Not even to have Rey Mysterio feud Roman Reigns. That wouldn't be a good idea. I mean, that'd be good, but it wouldn't be a good idea. Do you know how badly Roman Reigns would hurt Rey Mysterio if they was to feud? Oh my goodness, man. That would be brutal. Absolutely fucking mesmerizing. Seriously. But you know, folks, It's bad when we're so excited to finally see Dominique wrestle. And in no time, WWE has gotten us to the point, to where we don't want to see him or Rey on TV anymore. Even though Dominique's doing great, don't get me wrong. But once again, it takes Rey Mysterio a face using a heel-like tactics to cause heel Corbin the match. It's like, man, come on, WWE. End this feud already. My moderator, Justin, on Twitter, he's been saying this for weeks, man. And I've been saying this for more than a fucking week. This Mysterio-Corbin feud is gonna be as long as the Rollins-Mysterio feud went. Now, honestly, my question is, where are we at this point now? Everybody in the IWC community hates this feud. But no, WWE, Brutes, and Vince wants to keep it going. Oh, because they have the power. Oh, because they have the money and they can have control of WWE. They can do what the fuck they want. Oh, they did what they want when they buried 8 NXT talents on the main roster, including Rhea Ripley. Well, not Rhea Ripley. Well, she will be soon. Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, all 5 members of Retribution. That's 7. Let's not forget Chelsea Green. That's 8. That's 8 talents. All of them were wasted, buried, and killed on the main roster. Chelsea Green was killed on the main roster so bad that she had to be out for for months. She had to be out for months. Her injury. That's how bad it was. Yet they want to continue this feud. They want to give us a reason to say, oh, I enjoyed this feud. I think I'm going to watch it more every Friday night. They're going to sit there and give us a reason to like this feud. Really? Like, nobody is invested in this feud. Nobody's interested. It's not creative. It's not enjoyable. This feud is not enjoyable to watch on TV. So, please, get this feud off our TVs. Please, end it. End it already, Vince, Bruce. We don't care about this anymore. We're tired of this shit. End this bullshit. End this bullshitting feud, man. Seriously, WWE. Find something else for Rey Mysterio and Dominique to do. Or find something else for Corbin to do, if anything. Why don't you give Corbin back his lone wolf character? Because his fucking King Corbin, whatever fuck character he's got, is suffering. You're making Corbin look like an embarrassment. Even more, you're making Rey Mysterio and Dominique look like embarrassments. Feuding with Corbin every week on fucking Smackdown. And now we have until now. Now they decide that Dominique wins his match against Corbin. Oh, come on. Dominique should have been got wins over Corbin. Should have been got wins over Corbin a long time ago. Yet you want to have him lose to Corbin for 2 weeks. Now, all of a sudden, he's winning. What the hell's going on here, Bruce? I don't understand this shit. Shit doesn't make sense. Just end this fucking feud, man. It's really annoying. Seriously. WWE are so completely bankrupt at what they do, man. They are so fucking terrible. Vince and Bruce, especially. Jesus Christ. They really need to do better with their producing and writing. They really need to do better with booking matches. This is that 50-50 booking we're talking about. They need to do better with booking, man. They really do. Seriously. That's why I say, hashtag fire Bruce Pritchard, hashtag remove Vince from WWE. Triple H needs to be chairman, needs to be the newest chairman of WWE. He needs to be the chairman because I think Triple H will make a difference for Raw and SmackDown. Vince McMahon, he's not. He's making Raw and SmackDown look worse when it's already looking. and these blue checkmark geeks, and then you got these goddamn fucking, some of these goddamn motherfucking UK, USA fucking geeks in the community supporting this fucking complete garbage episodes of Raw and SmackDown every week. That's why the fucking product on both brands are fucking suffering. That's why Raw has the fucking lowest ratings in history right now, because of shit like dirt sheets and Miz TV. And you got this fucking unprofessional goddamn booking that's fucking taking place on both shows. And then you wonder why nobody watches it. Then you wonder why nobody watches Raw and SmackDown, because of Vince and Bruce. Because the way how they're handling these fucking shows. It's not creative and management's fault. It's not the talent's fault. It's not commentary's fault. It's Bruce and Vince's fault. Every week. It's Bruce and Vince. Every week. Jesus Christ. It's time for it to come to an end, man. It's time for these guys to get fired. Seriously. This is just fucking ridiculous. So we get a recap of the match between Big E and Apollo Crews that was interrupted by Sami Zayn. Big E is in his interview backstage. Kayla Bradstein asks him how he prepared for his match tonight. Or should I say last night, because SmackDown came on last night. So he says that he knows what he was doing when he became Intercontinental Champion. And he is ready for a fight. Bryan comes down to the ring for a match against Cesaro after a break. But where is Aleister Black? Oh, that's right. At the last minute, WWE decides, oh, they got big plans for him. When? Where? When is he coming back? Oh, I don't fucking know. That's Vince McMahon and Bruce right there. I don't know. Fucking idiots, man. Not only are they keeping Aleister Black off TV, they still got Humberto Carrillo and Andrade kept off TV. And then you got Buddy Murphy kept off TV. Oh, no wonder, because you have no plans for Buddy Murphy or Bo Dallas, right? Right, Bruce? Holy shit, man. I'm about to let a roof off this fucking place in about a few seconds. Seriously. We got Bryan versus Cesaro. Speaking of Bryan and Cesaro, I got news on both Bryan and Cesaro. We're going to go over that after we go over what happened with this match between the two. This was an excellent match. Your typical TV match. Normal TV match. We got Cesaro and Bryan lock up immediately. Bryan he kicks at Cesaro, and they trade uppercuts. Some good old uppercuts there, man. Bryan kicks Cesaro in the arm, then in the chest, before dumping him to the outside. Bryan climbs to the top rope and hits a diving crossbody to Cesaro to the outside. Bryan tosses Cesaro back in the ring and hits a missile dropkick to Cesaro in the ring. Bryan picks up Cesaro and Cesaro tries to rake the eyes. Bryan blocks Cesaro and jails for a very European uppercut, man. But Bryan blocks and backslide Cesaro into the pinfall. Attempt for 2. Shinsuke Nakamura is watching the match backstage. Bryan rolls up Cesaro into a yes lock. Cesaro gets out of strikes at Bryan. That goes for a corkscrew uppercut. Bryan catches him and knocks Cesaro in the head, pinning him for 2. Bryan stomps away at Cesaro's head. Bryan sets up for the running knee, but Cesaro catches him into a backbreaker. Cesaro swings Bryan around and then locks in the sharpshooter. Bryan taps out. So we got Cesaro. We got WWE continuing Cesaro's push on the SmackDown men's roster. And I gotta give credit to WWE for giving Cesaro this push. But we all know he should have got his push a long time ago, right? Oh, but you let that slip away, did you, Bruce? Did you, Vince? You guys lost interest in Cesaro, did you? Yeah, you know you did, you fucking geeks. You know you did. And then you rather use these old legends. You rather bring back these old legends than give Cesaro his push, right? Right, Bruce? Man, oh man, oh man. You guys fucking suck, man. Seriously. You guys fucking suck, seriously. But this was another unsurprisingly great match between these two, with the surprise result of Cesaro forcing Bryan to submit. I already said that. Now this was an almost dominant win for the Swiss Superman, of course. It makes me and everybody else in the IWC believe that WWE are continuing this big push for both him and Nakamura post-Rumble. A thought that everybody, or should I say, a thought that some people in the community were afraid of. Now, we never really got a glimpse of what Nakamura's perspective on Cesaro winning was. Now, if this leads to a triple threat match between Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, and Nakamura, I guess there are some people that will be in for it, but some people won't. I can tell you right now, I'm in for Cesaro versus Nakamura more than Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura, because WWE could be putting Daniel Bryan in the Universal title picture and we can get Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns feud. We could have got the start of that feud after the Rumble, but no, they want to go and book Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for Elimination Chamber, right? Is that what they booking for Elimination Chamber? How does that make sense? How does it make sense to continue the Reigns and Owens feud? This Reigns and Owens feud should have ended right after the Rumble. We could have got Daniel Bryan and Reigns right there and then. But no, Bruce and Vince wants to go with the same fucking agenda every week. They want to go with Kevin Owens and Reigns continuing their feud. They want to go with that. Oh, man. I feel like a fucking tornado, man. Seriously. I think I'm just going to go round and round and round and destroy the city. I'm going to be the tornado destroyer. Jesus Christ, man. Seriously. I might just destroy some people. So, I got some news on Cesaro reportedly agreeing to a new contract. So you all know that WWE is about to lose Cesaro, right? But now that apparently isn't the case. It was previously reported that Cesaro's WWE contract was set to run up after WrestleMania. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that he was either signed a new contract or verbally agreed to a new deal a few weeks ago. So the Wrestling Observer letter said, and I quote, "There have been reports going around regarding the status of Cesaro. Either Daniel Bryan pitched the idea, but they switched out the Swiss Superman because he hadn't signed a new deal yet." Now, Cesaro is a guy who a lot of fans would love to see get a much greater spotlight. And I agree. I would love to see him get a much greater push too. Or greater spotlight and push. Which he is getting his push. I mean, he's won his match for the second week in a row. Am I not right? Even if that means leaving WWE. Now, it appears that he is sticking around at this point. So, folks, we'll just have to see if WWE finally gives him that extra push. Yeah. If they do it right. And not fucking forget about it this time. Now, on to Daniel Bryan. There was some news on Edge pulling for a match against Daniel Bryan. There was also, we're going to talk about that later on, but right now, let's go over the news on Edge and Daniel Bryan pushing for different things as members of the WWE creative team. Now, yes, Daniel Bryan and Edge are both members of the writing team. They are. But it's not their fault that the Raw and SmackDown shows are suffering every week. It's Bruce and Vince's fault. Just throwing it out there. So those of you that want to fucking blame Daniel Bryan and Edge, which you shouldn't, if you do, you're a blithering idiot. Just throwing it out there. You're a fucking complete retard. Edge and Bryan are both members of the WWE creative team. Edge is on Raw and Bryan is on SmackDown. Now, but the difference are much different from there. Ringside News exclusively reported. Ringside News, my sources, my good old friends on Twitter, we have associated a few times. We still do. Ringside News exclusively reported in November that Daniel Bryan is going to above and beyond what he needs to as a writer. He's sitting in at gorilla position and learned other aspects about production. Don't forget, Steve Kerr is my friend too, because he had me on Twitter. He had me follow on Twitter once. At one point he did. He is also monitoring younger talent. They also reported that Edge isn't really doing all of the same things. Now, those of you that don't know who Steve Carrier is, he's the founder of Ringside News. Just thought I'd tell you that. The Wrestling Observer Radio further noted the difference between Edge and Daniel Bryan. It is quite evident by how they are booked on television as well. So this is what they said. They said, and I quote, "It is notable the difference with Edge and Daniel Bryan on the creative team. It was notable that they were the two people who got substantial interview time leading to that match. But Edge, at 47, was pushing for a main event title shot, while Bryan, at 39, in his position, was pushing consistently to get other people over. They're both doing a good job. They're both doing a good job, especially Daniel Bryan. Mainly Daniel Bryan, he's doing good. But still, they're both doing a very great job with in their position as creative writing team, as the WWE writers. But anyways, Ringside News previously reported that Edge is also pulling for a match against Daniel Bryan. That might be a very interesting match to see. That is a new dream match right there. We have never seen Daniel Bryan go head to head with Edge before. That'll be a first time matchup right there. That would be an interesting match, especially if you take the fact that they are both members of the writing team into consideration. Just throwing it out there, folks. Now, that's all the news I got for now. The news that we're going to go over at the end of the review is the news on Edge pulling for match against Daniel Bryan. We're going to go over that. Well, actually, no, scrap that, because we've already talked about that. So, that's all the news, folks. Actually, that's the only two SmackDown news I got. It's only SmackDown news I got for now. So, be looking to hear more SmackDown news for next Friday's Friday Night SmackDown. Anyways, we got Ruby Wyatt versus Bayley. But before that, Cesaro celebrates his win over Bryan, then sees Bryan sitting in the corner. Cesaro approaches Bryan and offers him his fist for a fist bump. Bryan fist pumps him, and Cesaro walks out of the ring. We get a recap of Bianca Bellaire winning the Royal Rumble match. Kayla Bradstein interviews Bianca Bellaire. The EST of WWE, which happens to be this young lady on the screen. Kayla Braxton interviews Bellaire backstage. We see a video of Bianca's parents celebrating her victory on Instagram. Braxton asks her who she will face at WrestleMania. She says that this is the biggest decision of her life. She will be ready for her decision soon. Now, the opponent that I think Bianca Belair is facing at WrestleMania is Sasha Banks. Now, who is Asuka going to face? I don't know. That has yet to be answered. You know what? I think the opponent Asuka should be facing is Shayna Baszler for WrestleMania. But why Shayna Baszler versus Asuka when they could have done a Asuka and Baszler feud a long time ago? You know? But I think Asuka versus Shayna Baszler makes sense. Sorta. Kinda. Even though we should have got this feud a long time ago, if they would have got Shayna Baszler away from Nia Jax, maybe we would have got the Asuka and Baszler feud. But no, WWE didn't want to go with that, and did they? No. They went with the opposite, which had a lot of fans unhappy with that. Please get Nia Jax away from Baszler, Bruce, and Vince. Just saying, just throwing it out there. Shayna Baszler's career is going skyrocketed, and it's getting ruined all because of Nia Jax. If anything, get those titles back off of them, please. So Bayley comes out, and she would be live on SmackDown after the commercial break. Back from commercial break, we get a video package hyping up the return of Seth Rollins next week. So we got Ruby Wyatt. Wyatt. We got Ruby Wyatt versus Bayley. Versus the role model Bayley. Now, this match went about maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Didn't really last long. It was a fast-pacing match, I know that. Sorta. It was sort of a fast-pacing match. I'm just going to say that. It was sorta. But it was definitely a okay match. It was okay. I'm just going to say that. I could definitely see a Ruby Wyatt and Bayley feud along the way, though. And I could definitely see a Bayley-Liv Morgan feud, too. I could definitely see Liv Morgan getting her first feud in the WWE on the WWE main roster. I could definitely see Liv Morgan's first feud and Ruby Wyatt's first feud being with Bayley. Bayley needs nobody on her side. She can feud with Liv Morgan and Ruby Wyatt all by herself. We don't need Sasha Banks turning heel, joining Bayley again. We don't need that. Please, we've already got that. We don't need that. No more. Ruby Wyatt versus Bayley. Billie Kay is on commentary. Oh, God. Oh, God. Talk about somebody that's terrible. Billie Kay, please, Bruce, please get her off our TVs. Why do you still got her on our TVs? Oh, because she's paired up with the Wyatt squad, right? Oh, my God. Billie Kay would be a bad addition to the Wyatt squad. Just saying. She is the worst professional wrestler and the worst fucking Australian professional wrestler ever. She's terrible as Peyton Royce. Jesus Christ. Just, please get Billie Kay off our TVs, man. I'm telling you. There's a lot of people that are shitting on Billie Kay for the simple fact that she's not entertaining. She's just the worst pro wrestler ever. Get her off our TVs, please, Bruce. I'm sick and tired of seeing her on my TV every Friday nights. Please. It's embarrassing. She's embarrassing herself. Why don't you keep her off TV like you're keeping Natalya and Tamina off TV? Please. Anyways, she's on commentary. Bayley tosses Ruby around. Ruby hits Bayley with a kick and pins her for 2. Wyatt picks up Bayley, and Bayley tosses Wyatt into the corner. Bayley catches Ruby and lawn darts her into the top turnbuckle. Bayley lays into Ruby and hits her with the elbow drop, pinning her for 2. Bayley continues to focus on Ruby's shoulder. Wyatt gets to her feet and shoves Bayley into the corner. She catches Bayley, shoves her face first into the middle turnbuckle. Wyatt hits an arm drag onto Bayley. Bayley goes for a belly-to-belly suplex, but Ruby counters and pins her for 2. Bayley locks in a submission on Wyatt, but Billie Kay tries to help. She distracts Ruby Riott. Bayley catches Ruby, slamming her face first into the mat. She pins Ruby for 3. I think this is going to lead to Billie Kay turning heel on Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. I think that's what it's leading to. I really don't care about this whatsoever. I do care about the Wyatt squad getting their push, though. I know that. Because it seems like they're not getting their push. It seems like every time they're getting the push goes downhill. And then when they get it back, it seems like they're getting the push back. It seems like it's going back downhill again. The fuck are they doing with these? The fuck are they doing with the Wyatt squad, man? I don't understand. They're not doing the Wyatt squad right. We don't need no Ruby Riott turning heel on Liv Morgan. Then that's going to really fuck up things. That's going to really fuck things up. My God. I really don't understand why can WWE just give the Wyatt squad the push they need, man, instead of bringing them down like this. This is just absolutely embarrassing. This is not right. This is just absolutely not right. I don't understand this. I don't get it. I really don't. Anyways, moving on. So, Bianca Belaire is live next after a commercial break. That's what it says. Yeah, man, I heard about it. I saw it. I shared the news on Twitter. Oh my God, it is absolutely fucking disturbing. Yeah, you guys heard about the former WWE star Tyler Risk. He turned into a trans woman. Oh my goodness. I am so fucking disturbed by this. This is fucking sickening. What's even more sickening is the fact, I even said this on Twitter this week. You can follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling. Jay, I even said this on Twitter. Jay the Boss. I said that the fact that his wife is supporting that is even more fucking disturbing. Oh, I don't even want to go into that. I would much rather say that Edge has arrived and he's walking backstage. He passes by Sonya Deville and gives her a fist pump. And he continues on his way. And Jay, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Jay the Boss. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to my review. I hope you stay here and enjoy yourself, man. Because this is going to get even more good. So, Bianca Belaire, the EST of WWE, she comes out. So we got her. She got her, Bianca Belaire. She's the EST of WWE. She was a former, she did track before, remember? She did track. And I think she played some basketball too, from what I'm hearing, I think. But, Bianca Belaire comes out Bellaire gets a mic and says that choosing her opponent for WrestleMania is a big decision. A very, very big decision. She names Asuka and Sasha Banks as two of her opponents. Before she can make her announcement, Carmella's Rhode comes down to the ring. He says that he wants to offer advice to Bianca. He says that she could beat Asuka, but he says that Bianca couldn't beat Sasha or Carmella. So that's what he said. That's what he claims. But you're gonna like the other part. You're gonna like the final part about this in a minute of what I'm about to tell y'all. You're gonna like this. I'm telling you. Carmella's music comes out. Her music plays. She comes out. She says that she beat Sasha in her very first match against her. Meaning that she beat Sasha Banks twice. She says that she could do the same to Bianca. Didn't we hear Carmella say that before when she said, I beat Asuka twice? Didn't we hear her say that before in the past? Which one we have? Pretty sure we have, folks. Pretty sure we have. So, after she says she beat Sasha twice, she then says that she could do the same to Bianca. Sasha Banks' music hits. Sasha comes out and says that she is going to start focusing on the road ahead. You know, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, the blueprint standard of all WWE. That's Sasha Banks. So she says that Bianca has her attention. She says that she has been watching her, and she saw her pick up Otis and chase down Bayley. So while she may be the strongest and fastest, but she isn't the best, and says that Bianca should choose her. Bianca starts to respond, but Reynolds steps between them. He tells Bianca that she will lose if she chooses Sasha. See, she attacks Reynolds. That's the part I wanted to get at. That's the funny part right there. Reynolds ran his mouth and got his mouth in trouble. He run his mouth. His mouth got him in trouble. His fucking attitude, his behavior, definitely got him in trouble. She attacks Reynolds with her hair, sending him retreating out of the ring. He got scared. Oh, man. Roman Reigns is backstage with Jey Uso. Heyman shows up and tells Roman that Edge is here. So we got a commercial break. Now, I just want to give y'all my thoughts on Bianca Belair addressing her Royal Rumble win. First of all, number one, I just want to say that this segment just made everybody think about how much they want Bianca Belair versus Reynolds after seeing his match with Sasha Banks a few weeks ago. Intergender match. And I saw this, speaking of intergender match, I saw this article of Conan saying that people need to accept intergender matches. Why? Why do we need to accept intergender matches, Conan? I don't understand. Why? You know, Conan, the guy that wears the black and white bandana. Conan. He used to be a former WWE wrestler, I think. That Conan. Even though I'm not a big fan of Carmella, she was fantastic. She had gotten so good at the little details and segments. Now, during the stare down between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belaire, she did a very subtle but telling eye roll that was just brilliant, honestly. I don't know. I really don't know if I'd be up for a Bianca Carmella feud to tie Bianca along till Mania. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think we need to go with the Sasha and Bianca feud. I think the Sasha and Bianca feud is way better than the Bianca and Carmella feud. Let's be honest. I don't think they're gonna do the Carmella and Bianca feud right. I think they're gonna do the Sasha and Bianca feud the right way. I don't think they're gonna do really good with the Carmella and Bianca feud. I think they're gonna do more better with the Bianca and Sasha feud. Bianca Sasha feud makes more sense than the Bianca Carmella feud. What would you do with the Bianca and Carmella feud? There's no story there. There's no story there. But when it comes to Bianca and Sasha feud, there's a story there. There's a story to it. You could do stories with two top SmackDown, or should I say, what I'm trying to say here, two of the best, two of the strongest, two of the best women on the SmackDown Women's roster. You could do a story with those two. It's there. It's there, Bruce and Vince. If WWE does it right, if WWE books it right, if WWE writes it and produces it right, if they do that, the story will be a good story. Then we can say that Bianca Belair versus Sasha at WrestleMania 37 has the potential to being one of the best women's matches on that card. Now, moving on here. So we got a commercial break. Edge comes out to the ring. He says that while he was going through rehab, he dreamed of coming back to WWE. But before all that, we got Otis and Chad. Yes, I said it. Now, let me know in the comments below. Let me know y'all's fucking comments on the what's y'all's fucking reaction to Otis and Chad Gable versus Rhode and Ziggler. What do you think this is leading to? Let me know in the comments below. Give me a guess on what you think this is leading to. I'll tell you at the end what this is leading to. What I think this is leading to. So anyways, we got Chad Gable and Otis versus the Dirty Dogs. The glorious one, Rhode and the show-off, Dolph Ziggler. Now, Rhode and Dolph Ziggler are a good team. I mean, you can tell those tag team titles look good on those guys. And you know Dolph Ziggler's brother, he's wrestling for AEW, right? Just thought I'd throw that out there. Even though his brother's debut wasn't really that successful, he's doing great too himself. But we're not talking about his brother. We're talking about how great Dolph Ziggler and Rhode are as a team. I mean, the name Dirty Dogs, now I'm starting to think this tag team name suits them right. At first, I didn't think it suited them right, but now I'm starting to think it suits them well. Because of their character, how they're doing in the ring, and how great those titles look on them. Everything. So, yeah. So anyways, Gable and Ziggler will start. They started. The Street Profits are providing commentary somehow. I'm just going to say that. Somehow they were. I don't know how they were providing commentary. They just were there to do it. But they are not on commentary desk. Gable takes Dolph Ziggler off his feet and goes after Ziggler's wrist. Ziggler fights back and hits Gable with a drop kick. So then after Ziggler hit Gable with a drop kick, he tags in Rhode and tosses Gable into Rhode's shins. Rhode hits Gable with a knee to the midsection and hits a suplex on Gable, pinning him for 2. Rhode locks in a headlock. Gable fights to his feet and goes for an ankle lock. But Rhode escapes. Gable tags in Otis, who hits Rhode with a suplex and tosses around Ziggler. He hits Ziggler with a discus clothesline and splashes onto Rhode in the corner. Otis hits Rhode with a caterpillar. Gable tags in, but Ziggler takes Otis off the apron and then attacks Gable. Rhode pins Gable for the win. So that was it. So we got Dolph Ziggler and Rhode picking up victory over Otis and Chad Gable. The Chad Gable name makes more sense than Shorty G. I'm telling you that right now. This was a good match. I mean, I'm not going to say it was bad because it wasn't really that bad when you look at it. It was a decent match. Decent match that was offensive and short, of course. I'm actually glad. I can't believe I'm saying this. But I'm actually glad they're taking strides to make Rhode and Ziggler seem like more of a cash-shift team. Or a passionate team. Seem more like a dangerous team. With the combined Tron and now theme. So it feels like the tag team division isn't 50% singles guys. They don't know what else to do with. The Street Profits intercepting to commentate over in the match was a really net idea I haven't seen them do before. And did a lot to explain the Street Profits' thoughts on both competing teams. Which I thought was pretty confusing to me. So you know what I think this is leading to? I think this is going to lead to the Street Profits feuding with not only Rhode and Ziggler, but also feuding with Chad Gable and Otis. So this is going to lead to a triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So it's going to be Chad Gable. I think it's going to be Chad Gable and Otis versus the Street Profits versus Rhode and Ziggler for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. That's what I think is going to happen at WrestleMania 37. So again, it's going to be Otis, Chad Gable versus Robert Roode and Ziggler versus the Street Profits for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions at WrestleMania 37. So Roode and Ziggler will have to defend it against the two teams. That should be a great match if they book it right, if they produce it and write it right. Anyway. All right. So that's my thoughts on that. So Hulk Hogan's recap of his match against Andre the Giant was up next after a commercial break. So, after a commercial break, back from commercial break, Michael Cole tosses to a recap of Hulk Hogan defending his WWF World Heavyweight Champion against Andre the Giant 33 years ago. Why did they have to show that? Why didn't they just went with Hulk Hogan telling us who he thinks was going to win the WrestleMania 37? Or who he thinks Edge is going to challenge I don't even know why Hulk Hogan was even on our TV to begin with. That was just a waste. I don't even know why he's on there. He's already enough that he's a racist. Why would you want to have him on television for people to see? For people to shit on? Just don't understand it. You see how they got Austin Theory and Velveteen Dream still on TV wrestling? I'm glad I don't see Velveteen Dream on NXT. I'm glad I'm not seeing him. Holy shit. Talk about pedophile. Anyways. So, we get a video recap of the match, and then I hear from Hulk Hogan himself. He transitions to speaking about how Edge has the opportunity to take on either Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre, and says that no matter who Edge chooses, his opponent will be in trouble. I choose Drew McIntyre. Give Edge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. It makes sense. There's a story there. It's creative. It'll be enjoyable to watch. It has the potential of being one of the best matches if it's done right. That's all I'm going to say about that. Apollo Crews and Big E come down to the ring to get ready for their match, which will be right after a commercial break. Backstage, Edge is talking to Shinsuke Nakamura, former Intercontinental Champion, former United States Champion. Just thought I'd throw it out there. So we got the Intercontinental Champion, Big E, versus Apollo Crews, versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a really decent, very, very impressive triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. You've seen on my WWE Smackdown live stream, I was going crazy over this match. I really was. Man, it was those of you that joined me on my WWE Smackdown live stream, you've seen how crazy I was going. It was a really great match, man. So it really was. I mean, with Big E as the Intercontinental Champion, getting his singles push, with Apollo Crews seemingly looking to turn heel very, very soon. And then we got Zayn. Who is he going to feud with? I don't know. But this looks like this is leading to Big E defending his Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews and Sami Zayn for WrestleMania 37. So this looks like a Big E, Apollo, and Zayn feud. That's what this is looking like. So basically, Big E is not only feuding with Apollo Crews, he's basically feuding with Sami Zayn too. So that's what it's looking like. It's looking like a triple threat feud here. Basically. Apollo Crews would be the newest heel. If he turns heel, he'll be the newest heel on the SmackDown roster. I mean, they really don't have anybody else on that roster, man. Same with Monday Night Raw. That's why Monday Night Raw, that's why SmackDown mainly needs more NXT call-ups. They need more talent they can work with. If they write and produce them on and off TV right, you know. Just saying. Now, Zayn ducks out of the ring early, and Apollo rolls up Big E for one. Big E takes Cruz down with an elbow. Zayn gets back in the ring and attacks Big E, who hits him with a back body drop. Cruz hits Big E with 3 German suplexes and pins him for 2. But I can't help, before I continue reading, I just want to say I can't help to think if they call up more NXT talents to the roster, that means more NXT talents will be buried. So I think it's better for Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, and all of them to stay on NXT. Because I don't think they want that. Because you know Bruce cannot stand NXT talents for some reason. I don't know why. And he's out of his fucking mind. And he's disgraceful to the NXT talent. Talk about a disgraceful man. Holy shit. Anyways, Zayn comes in and attacks Apollo. Cruz hits Zayn with a clothesline. Cruz hits a splash on Zayn. Big E avoids a Seacon splash. Big E hits Zayn with a splash and goes to hit a spear through the ropes on Cruz. Zayn grabs Big E's foot, stopping him. Cruz hits a dive onto Zayn and Big E onto the outside. Cruz hits a moonsault onto Big E from the apron. Zayn blindsides Cruz, taking him out with a flying clothesline from the steel steps. Commercial break. Zayn is in the ring with Big E. Zayn chokes Big E against the middle ropes. Cruz gets to the apron, but Zayn knocks him down. So then Zayn trips Big E onto the middle rope and goes for a blue thunderbomb. Big E blocks and Cruz hits Zayn with a dropkick. Big E tosses Apollo Cruz around with belly to belly suplexes. Zayn jumps on Big E's back. Big E tosses him down. Big E hits a running splash onto both Zayn and Cruz. He picks up Cruz and Cruz hits Big E with an enziguri. Cruz runs at Big E in the corner. Big E dumps Cruz over the top to the outside. Zayn runs at Big E, and Big E hits Zayn with a Uranagi, pinning him for 2. Big E hits a splash onto Zayn on the apron. Cruz hits a dropkick onto Big E. Then goes into the ring and hits a frog splash onto Zayn in the ring, pinning him for 2. Cruz runs at Sami and goes for a fisherman's suplex. Big E runs in and catches Apollo around the wrist, hitting both men with a suplex. Apollo rolls out of the ring and Zayn stands on the apron. Big E goes for a spear to Zayn, but Zayn gets a knee up. Zayn hits Big E with a Haluna kick. That stunned Big E. That got him. So Zayn pins Big E, but Apollo Cruz pulls him off of Big E before the 3 count. Zayn picks up Cruz and Cruz lays onto Zayn. He picks up Zayn and tosses him hard into the timekeeper's area. I love how they're making Apollo Cruz looks like. I love how they're making Apollo Cruz look like a dangerous opponent for Big E. They're making him look strong. They're making him look fantastic, phenomenal. Cruz gets in the ring with Big E, hitting Cruz with a big ending, pinning Cruz for the win. And that's it. Fantastic triple threat match, folks. It could have been very easily been on Rumble, given how great it was. Cruz really showing here, particularly with the new offense he pulled out, like the triple German suplexes in the top and the Topi Con Hero. Now, Big E retaining was the right call and pretty much guaranteed Apollo going down the dark path to try and finally capture the gold, as was teased in the aftermath and over the last couple of weeks. Edge is backstage walking, and he is next. He was next after a commercial break. Now, back from commercial break, We got the rated R superstar, former heavyweight champion, Edge, coming out to the ring. You know what I mean by heavyweight, world heavyweight. He says that while he was going through rehab, he dreamed of coming back to WWE, winning the Royal Rumble and main eventing WrestleMania. Remember when I saw the news? When I saw the news on what was next for Edge, and when I saw the news on the Edge, choosing his opponents, potential cross Edge feud. I saw all that news. When I saw all that news, I said, not only is Edge a genius, not only is Edge the radar superstar, but he's also smart. He's also a genius. He's also a member of the writing team. I said that yesterday on Twitter. Or I might have said that 2 days ago. But I said something like that. Now, he says that he wants to take back what he never lost, referring to the fact that he had to relinquish the World Heavyweight Champion a decade ago. See, that's how I knew he was former World Heavyweight Champion, because he had to relinquish it. I watched WWE ever since I was little, folks. I know. Trust me. Edge asks who he should challenge, naming Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, and Roman Reigns. He talks about how he has heard different commendations from everyone before he can continue. Roman Reigns' music hits. Jey Uso and Paul Heyman come down. Roman Reigns gotta have his backup with him. He's gotta have proof of why he's the best in the business. He's got to have proof of why he's the head of the table, proof of why he's the tribal chief, and most importantly, he's got to have backup of proof to why he is the Universal Champion and the only best thing going for SmackDown every Friday night. It's all thanks to his pals, Paul Heyman and his cousin, Jey Uso. He's not the big dog anymore, folks. He's the tribal chief. Don't compare him to that. He'll get mad. He talks about how Roman Reigns, his music hits. Roman, Jey Uso, Paul Heyman come down to the ring. Edge is trying to keep an eye on both. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, as they enter the ring, Paul Heyman grabs a mic and they stand across from Edge in the ring. Edge jokes about the fact that Roman had to bring backup. Paul Heyman hands him the mic. So once he gives him the mic, Roman jokingly responds that Heyman won't make a move on Edge. Edge says that he is already in Roman's head. Roman says that he's got this. So Jey Uso and Paul Heyman leave the ring. Roman tells Edge to acknowledge him as the main event of WrestleMania. He wants Edge to say his name. Edge backs up and Owens runs into the ring from behind, hitting a stunner on Roman. Owens immediately leaves the ring and walks to the back. Edge smiles and also leaves the ring as SmackDown goes off the air. So it just seemingly suggests that Edge's opponent is going to be Drew McIntyre. Because remember, Edge is the writing team for Raw. He's the writing team member for Raw. Daniel Bryan is the writing team member for SmackDown. Remember? He's writing for Raw. Daniel Bryan's basically writing for SmackDown. So it makes sense for Edge to... This is another reason why it makes sense for Edge to challenge Drew McIntyre. No, the main reason why Edge should be challenging Drew McIntyre is because it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. There's a story there that you can create. There's a new story there you can create between those two. An Edge and McIntyre feud I can definitely see happening before WrestleMania. Edge and McIntyre feud after McIntyre's Elimination Chamber match with Sheamus. After McIntyre's match with Sheamus, I could definitely see the beginning of a McIntyre and Edge feud. I can definitely see that. It makes sense. WWE needs to give us something that makes sense. Give us a feud, a storyline that makes more sense. It makes perfect sense, you know? I can see that. I can see that happen. Drew McIntyre versus Edge, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. It's definitely, all that definitely makes sense. It's the perfect way to go about it. Those are perfect matches for the WrestleMania 37 card. Two of the biggest matches on that card. So a good end to the show, if a little anticlimactic. Now, I kinda don't mind Owens coming back to face Reigns. Then again, I don't. I feel like a little letdown when the entire hook of Edge confronting Reigns didn't have a very satisfying conclusion for the Rated R Superstar for some people. Even a witty little liner after Owens hit the stunner would have surfaced with a suffocate. Hopefully, this third match in the Owens versus Reigns series is no more like their TLC encounter at the Royal Rumble match did feel like a bit of a step down. It was a fun show, folks. Last night's SmackDown was a fun show that did well in building off the Royal Rumble, though I am disappointed and slightly concerned that Elimination Chamber wasn't brought up at all, despite being just over 2 weeks away. Now, I hope that the show doesn't end up just having throwaway matches on it for the sake of having matches, but considerably, they'll only have 2 shows to build off of now. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, and I'm sure you all wouldn't be surprised either. Now, the highlights of the week included the Great Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat match and Bryan versus Cesaro. Now, the lowest of low, the lowest highlights, the lowlights were Dominique versus Corbin, as well as Rhode and Ziggler versus Otis and Gable. And folks, that's all I got to say about that. This is gonna do it for your February the 5th, 2021 SmackDown review. If you enjoyed this review, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. I guess it's okay for you to hit the thumbs down if you didn't enjoy it. But again, if you enjoy it, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumb down, hit the thumbs down if you didn't. Folks, I am getting the hell out of here because I feel like I did good and I did okay at the same time. But it's okay to do good, but it's not okay to do bad. Especially when you're So, then tomorrow, we're going to have another full stream of Dragon Ball FighterZ. This time, it's going to be a continuation of the story mode. So, after my battle tutorial training final part stream on Dragon Ball FighterZ, I'm going to end that stream and do another stream. And this time, it's going to be titled Battle Combo Challenge. And then after that full stream, and then I'm gonna end that stream and do a third stream, and it's gonna be, this time I'm gonna do a stream on Dragon Ball FighterZ during the story mode. I can't even talk right for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it's just the way I talk. I guess that's the way people with autism like me talk. That's how it is. I bet some of you didn't know I had autism. You probably don't believe it. Well, for proof, you can ask my mom. Anyways, I'm getting the hell out of here. Peace. See you on the stream. Y'all will hear from me on my Dragon Ball Fighter stream, so be there. It's gonna be great. It's always great to bring new content to the channel. So, see you later, folks. I'm getting out of here.